There comes a point when your exhaustion isn't just physical, it's emotional, mental, and spiritual. Living under the shadow of a narcissist slowly erodes your sense of self. You start to question your own memories, your worth, even your sanity. It's not always the yelling or the insults that hurt the most, but the quiet manipulations, the gaslighting, the blame shifting, the charm that flips into cruelty when no one's watching. This isn't just about difficult people. It's about reclaiming your peace after being emotionally hijacked by someone who needs to dominate your reality to feel alive. This is for those who've been made to feel small, crazy, or invisible in the presence of someone who wears a mask of confidence but hides a deep fear of being ordinary. The words you use can become weapons, not to harm, but to protect. What follows isn't a list of catchy comebacks. These are phrases of liberation, and they work because they interrupt the narcissist's game. They don't feed the drama, they cut through it. They make control impossible. They return the power to you, quietly, firmly, permanently. The invisible cage of emotional manipulation. A narcissist builds an entire world around control. Everything is designed to keep you disoriented and emotionally dependent. Conversations turn into traps. Apologies become weapons. Love feels like something you have to earn, not something freely given. Their deepest fear isn't rejection, it's exposure. The fear that someone might see through the facade and realize how fragile they really are. That's why your pain is ignored, your boundaries are mocked, and your voice is silenced. You're not seen as a person. You're a role in their internal theater, one they expect you to keep playing without question. Arguing never works. Explaining never works. Loving harder never works. Because in their world, they're always the victim, the hero, or the judge, and you're always wrong. What works is disengaging, detaching, speaking truth without seeking validation. You don't win by outsmarting a narcissist. You win by refusing to play. Phrase 1. I see what you're doing. This is not an accusation. It's an interruption. It pulls back the curtain on the manipulation. No yelling, no emotion, just calm recognition. It says, the game is exposed, the mask is slipping, and the performance isn't working anymore. This statement ends the illusion that you're still hypnotized. It doesn't invite debate. It leaves no room for denial, and that silence, the lack of reaction they expect, is often the loudest rejection of their power. Phrase 2. That's not my responsibility. Guilt is their favorite tool. They hand you their emotions like ticking bombs and blame you when they explode. You're supposed to clean up their mess, soothe their moods, carry their shame. But emotional responsibility isn't transferable. You didn't cause their pain, and you can't fix it. This phrase draws a clear line between empathy and enmeshment. It teaches you that boundaries don't make you cold. They make you free. It's not unkind to step away from someone who treats your compassion as a leash. Phrase 3. I don't allow people to speak to me that way. There's a moment when you stop justifying disrespect and start declaring your worth. This phrase doesn't ask for permission. It sets a standard. A narcissist thrives on testing how much you'll tolerate. Every insult, every passive-aggressive dig, every sarcastic jab is a probe. Will you flinch? Will you fight? Will you shrink? But this line stops the test cold. It doesn't escalate. It doesn't explain. It just ends the behavior or ends the relationship. Either outcome is a win. Phrase 4. Your feelings are not my responsibility. When you stop absorbing their emotional chaos, you stop being manipulated by it. This statement doesn't deny empathy. It simply places ownership where it belongs. Narcissists expect you to manage their rage, their insecurity, their jealousy. They've spent years training you to anticipate their moods and adjust your behavior. But their emotional reactions are not your job to soothe, predict, or prevent. You're not a mirror. You're not a container. You're a person, and their emotions, no matter how explosive, don't define your reality. Phrase 5, I don't owe you an explanation. Endless explanations are a trap. They're not about understanding. They're about control. The more you try to clarify, the more ammunition you give. Your reasons get twisted. Your honesty gets used against you. This phrase reclaims your right to act without permission. It cuts the cord of justification. It affirms your autonomy without aggression. And when a narcissist no longer has access to your explanations, they no longer have access to your mind. Phrase 6. This conversation is over. Narcissists don't argue to resolve. They argue to exhaust. Every discussion becomes a loop designed to break you down. You repeat yourself. You beg to be heard. You try to stay calm while they provoke you further. You lose energy. They gain control. But this phrase breaks the loop. It's not a retreat. It's an exit. It says, there's no longer a stage for your manipulation, no longer an audience for your drama. You don't owe anyone endless access to your time or your attention. Walking away is not weakness. It's wisdom. Phrase 7. What you think of me doesn't matter to me. A narcissist needs you to care. Your self-doubt is their oxygen. If you need their approval, they can shape your choices. If you fear their rejection, they can shape your identity. But this statement takes back everything they're trying to control. It's not arrogance. It's freedom. When their opinion no longer governs your self-worth, they lose their grip entirely. You stop dancing for validation. You stop shrinking for acceptance. You start becoming whole again. The storm after the shift. When you begin setting boundaries, the backlash often comes hard and fast. Narcissists don't give up control quietly. They might explode with rage, play the victim, smear your name, or love bomb you into confusion. This is not a sign you've done something wrong. It's proof you've taken something they believed was theirs, your independence. This is called an extinction burst. It's the storm that happens when control stops working. But like any storm, it passes. What matters is not how loud it gets, but how firmly you hold your ground. The key is consistency. No backpedaling, no long explanations, no engaging in emotional tug-of-war. These phrases only work when backed by action, by calm presence, by emotional distance, by refusal to re-enter the game. Life after the narcissist. What you gain. When the fog lifts, so does the guilt. You realize how much of yourself you had to dim just to keep the peace. How many opinions you silenced. How many needs you buried. How many red flags you turned into excuses. And slowly, you begin to hear your own voice again. You begin to recognize love that doesn't require fear. You start trusting your intuition. You stop explaining your boundaries and start living inside them. Some people will fall away. Those who benefited from your silence may resent your strength. Let them go. In their place, others will come. Those who respect you, see you, and love you without condition. You didn't just escape manipulation. You created a new standard for every relationship that comes after. Your voice is enough. There are no perfect words. No phrase guarantees safety. But these 7 statements, spoken with quiet conviction, can break patterns that have lived for years in silence. They are not weapons of attack. They are shields of clarity. They don't seek revenge. They restore truth. And in the end, that's what a narcissist fears the most. The quiet, unwavering truth that can't be controlled, shamed, or rewritten. That truth is you, and it's enough.